2:56 a.m. in the morning, people in San Francisco woke up because their beds were shaking, items were falling off their shelves. And of course, everyone is scared of the big one. And everyone remembers 1906, the big earthquake that ended over 3,000 people in San Francisco. And unfortunately, I have to tell you guys that this earthquake was triggered by the hazardous Hayward Fault, the most hazardous fault in this area. It's not the San Andreas Fault, which is hazardous enough. The Hayward Fault is so hazardous because people live right on this fault. This fault line goes through heavy, densely populated areas. We'll talk about that Hayward Fault, but let's hear what happened in San Francisco. Originally 4.6, 4.7. It was later downgraded by the USGS to a 4.3, and they say it was jolting the San Francisco Bay Area and people felt a sharp shake. This is how it's described. And it was close to the University of Berkeley, the epicenter. So early Monday morning, people were waking up. More than 24,000 people said they felt it. That's what the USGS tells us so far. And the earthquake was just southeast of Berkeley. And it wasn't very deep, 4.8 miles. So this is considered shallow. That's why you feel it more intensely. Shortly after, people posted online that they felt their homes shake. A few stores in Berkeley had minor damage, like a broken window, merchandise was falling off the shelves. The Bay Area Rapid Transit posted on X that trains were running at reduced speeds. Now they're completing safety track inspections, whether there's any damage. And they told commuters to expect delays of up to 20 minutes system-wide because of that. And 911, of course, they received an increase in calls from people that felt the shaking. But so far, there have been, thankfully, no reports of injuries in San Francisco at this time. That's what the city's emergency management has posted on X. The department said it has not received any major damage reports. Also, the mayor of San Francisco, Dan Lurie, has posted online about the quake, saying first responders are assessing any impact to our city, and we will give you an update later today. They say also that a news station, KTVU TV, they said things were shaking in our newsroom. It caught everyone off guard. And National Weather Service in Monterey has made a statement. As far as earthquakes go, this kind of earthquakes, people feel them, but there's not a whole lot of impacts to them because it's not in the magnitude 6 range. But is that possible? Yes, guys, it is possible. We'll get to that. People say, woke up, bed shaking, noises. It comes with noises. And another one writes, we just got a big earthquake. That's how people felt it. This was the scariest thing, the scariest one I have ever experienced since I lived there, because the earthquake location was so close to this Hayward fault line. That's what the California Geological Survey tells us. The UC Berkeley Seismological Lab says this fault is one of the most dangerous fault lines in the Bay Area. They have more, unfortunately. They say that the Hayward Fault has a 33% chance of rupturing, resulting in a magnitude 6.7 earthquake or greater before 2043. This is soon. This can happen any day. And the Bay Area itself has a 72% chance of having at least a magnitude 6.7 earthquake in the same time frame. That's what the researchers are saying. Also to note, there was no tsunami threat coming from that earthquake. That's also the National Tsunami Center has given us information about that. And then there were aftershocks as well so far. And what they're also saying, and I've reported about that, more minor earthquakes bring a small chance, about 5%, that a larger earthquake will come within a few days. A few days? Okay. There may also be more aftershocks. So far, there's been one 2.5, 2.6, same area. And the culprit, the Hayward Fault, it's 74 miles long. It's an active geological fault in the San Francisco Bay Area. And as I said, the most hazardous in the region because its location directly under people's homes. Densely populated cities. Not every home is prepared, is up to earthquake codes. That makes it so dangerous. There's so many unreinforced masonry buildings still standing. Basically, it runs from San Pablo Bay south through the East Bay cities of Richmond, Berkeley, Oakland, Fremont, and San Jose, and basically it ends near San Jose. So it covers quite everything. And it's a right lateral strike slip fault. Basically, the landmass on the west side moves to the north relative to the landmass on the east side. So it's sliding alongside each other. And we can say that this is a major branch of the dangerous San Andreas fault system. And it has also merged with another fault. It has merged with the Rogers Creek Fault under San Pablo Bay. So it's, by this merger, it's forming an even larger system. And the Hayward Fault is active, as we've just seen today, and it experiences two kinds of creep. I've recently reported about the creeping fault line that is setting off the locations of sidewalks in some cities. Interesting stuff. So it has gradual seismic creep. So it's slipping up to 9 millimeters per year, a little less than an inch. And it has locked segments where stress is building up, locked and loaded. So what is the earthquake risk? The last major earthquake occurred 1868, and the fault is now considered overdue for a large event with a typical seismic cycle of 140 to 160 years. So every earthquake that it produces should put us on high alert. This urban location makes it exceptionally dangerous because here comes the number, guys. Over 2.4 million people live on this fault system. And there is evidence of movement. It runs through the Berkeley Memorial Stadium and the columns that are there in this stadium. So it causes the columns to separate and shift. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. And there's other visible evidence of the fault's movement, like in warped curbs, asphalt in parking lots, in cities like Fremont. So it reminds you every day when you see something like this, remember, why is this cracking? Why is this changing locations? And also the slight steps in its path. The fault creates geological features like sag ponds that are depressions and also uplifted grounds like pressure ridges. So interesting area to live on, I would say. I will keep you updated as always, guys. If you want to support the channel, please fill me up with coffee. I have a buy me a coffee site. Link is in the description of this video. Thank you for your supers. Thanks for supporting the channel with your memberships. If you want to do that for behind the scene videos, click the join button and I'll see you in the next one. And if you want to see live on camera how a fault like this is creeping, if you see the movement, it's a stunning video. Absolutely stunning. Watch this here in the end screen. I see you in the next one. Bye.